Hey guys, it's Gillian and welcome back. I'm a psychic and past life healer and spiritual teacher and the founder of the 3 stages of the healer's path and my unique framework, the pathway. So I have realized anyone that is on their spiritual journey, their awakening journey, their journey to really start to see the truth of themselves and the world, your spiritual and psychic intuitive gifts will naturally come online at some point. And this is the point where you can have so many things that block those intuitive gifts from coming forward. And honestly, the biggest gift that you have as a human being, especially in the world right now, is your own intuition. Is your ability to feel and see what is actually true. What is true for you and what are you being fed? What are you being fed in the media? What are you being fed in the news? What are you being fed with other people's views and opinions? What is truly you and what is truly right for you? And this shows up in every single part of the healer's journey, from really understanding who you are and letting go of and releasing all of the things, all of the beliefs, the programming, the trauma that you have been carrying for most of your life until the point where you decide, or it is the right time for you to truly wake up and start healing. And then it also comes into our relationships. When we don't trust our own gut, when we don't trust our intuition, we trust the wrong people. We are unable to make the right decisions that are truly aligned for us and our happiness. We stay in relationships that are extremely unfulfilling and in some ways, many ways toxic. We don't feel attracted to the people that are actually the most aligned for us because we're repeating the same old patterns of the beliefs and the traumas and the experiences that we've collected and carried from our past that we still haven't let go. And this also comes up when it comes to fully moving into our purpose, fully moving into a career that is completely aligned with your soul, where you are sharing your gifts, where you are following your intuition, and where you have that beautiful balance of trusting yourself to make the right decisions, trusting yourself to follow what you're truly passionate about and take those aligned actions. So your intuition and your psychic gifts are all completely intertwined. And some people might be thinking, well, I'm not psychic, or I don't want to be psychic. And that's fine. It's actually, psychic is just another advanced level of your intuition. Like, we all have an intuition. We were born intuitive, and many times in childhood that gets shut off for many different reasons. And in adulthood, when so many people on the planet are awakening to themselves and awakening to begin their healing journey, or are already on that healing journey, the biggest component is 1, to heal themselves, and 2, to connect back with themselves, with their soul, and therefore their own intuition, and therefore their own spiritual and soul gifts, and therefore their own psychic gifts, because it all flows in from each other, okay? And when so many of us are awakening, and when so many of us are beginning to move into this work, this soul-aligned work, or becoming a psychic or a healer, or those gifts waking up within us, we are being bombarded with things that are trying to keep us stuck, trying to block our psychic gifts from coming online, trying to block our level of intuition so that we cannot feel, see, know, hear. And the thing that's come up for me during this eclipse has been that, as you know, let me just preface this. As we know, or you may not know, we are all made up of energy, right? Quantum physics explains this if you need some scientific background. But we are made up of energy and frequency and vibration. So when you hear people in the spiritual world saying you need to raise your vibration, it is because of that. Like, if we have low vibration thoughts, emotions, feelings, beliefs, that are limiting us and keeping us stuck in this heavy density. And when we shift and transmute those, we can raise our frequency to that of a higher vibration. And where this comes in regard to our psychic gifts is that we are actually being blocked from our fully tuning in and tapping into our truest potential through frequency and vibration. And much of that is actually coming through music. Much of that is coming through technology. And one of my gifts that I've opened up is the ability to feel, see, hear, even smell different frequencies of energy. Yeah, I know that sounds weird as fuck, but like I can smell different energies. Like, for example, I did this test where I was tuning into the frequency of all the electronic things in and around me. So my laptop, my phone, the sockets, even I was then tuning into the airplanes that were passing by, and then I was able to tune into the towers that we also have. So we have signals on, and we have like telecommunication towers and signals on top of buildings, and I could tune into the frequency of all of those and how they were actually trying to block my frequency and the frequency of everyone else. Because when we are raising our frequency, when we are tuning into our true self, we are connecting with source consciousness. We are connecting with the highest vibrations of love. And of course, what can block that? Other frequencies, right? You see it. It's like you have it's like you have a radio, right? And you're trying to tune it into one station, but then someone else is tuning it into another station and it's like overtaking you. I don't know if you ever had like, what are they called? Not pilot radio stations, pirate radio stations. I think one of my ex-boyfriends did that, but that's another story. But pirate radio stations where they would hijack the frequency of certain radio stations so that they could illegally, for the most part, tune into that station, and whatever those people were recording were transmitted across those frequencies, those lines. And it's exactly the same. When we are raising our frequency, when we are tuning into source, higher realms of consciousness, we are being like energetically blocked and hijacked by different frequencies. So that is like telecommunications, electronics, EMF, like electromagnetic frequencies that come through all of our laptops, telephones, etc. Telephone, like mobile phones, definitely the newer models of them, for sure there are a lot of things that are trying to block our frequency. And the thing that actually came up for me was Bluetooth. So I no longer use any Bluetooth headphones. I always use wired headphones. However, I lost my wired headphones. So I had one Bluetooth headphone the other day, and because I was going out walking, I was like, okay, look, let me just put it in. I know I'd never do this, but for some reason I did it. And then for the days after that, yes, of course, it was also combining with the eclipse. However, when I tuned into it, I was extremely tired. I had a headache. My third eye felt so heavy. And I was like asking my higher self, I was asking, what is this? Like, what is this? Why do I feel blocked? Why do I feel like a lack of clarity around my direction with my business and what I'm doing? Like, what is this? Is it more than just the eclipse? And yes, of course it was. I was distinctly told through my own psychic abilities and intuition, funnily enough, that not just me, many people are being blocked from reaching their fullest potential and connecting with their own psychic abilities and trusting themselves, therefore, so they can't question the status quo of all the bullshit that's going on in the world and what they're being fed. Because through wireless Bluetooth headsets, through Bluetooth technology. So let that sink in. So if you have done any research on EMF, then you'll know also that's just not good for you anyway, because it really alters your frequency. Like for ages, I was getting zapped by my own phone because I could feel energy so distinctly that I was getting like zapped by my phone. And even when I tuned into it, I was told that the newer versions of technology, even when you put it on flight mode, it still listens to you. It still listens to your conversations. So again, if you want to go down rabbit hole, go down rabbit hole. There might be some more information around that, but this is what I've channeled. And the reason that I was having these headaches was because I used my Bluetooth technology, and through the frequencies that could be transmitted to this piece of Bluetooth technology via my phone or wherever else it could pick up the frequencies of energy, like tuning into the radio station. I was essentially, how do I say this? There was like an energetic implant that was put into my head, and that was blocking my own intuition, that was blocking my psychic abilities. And this is, again, for some of you that aren't in this world, this might be like, what the hell is this girl talking about? But I just want to point out that we are like in spiritual warfare. The people that have awakened will feel me, will get me on this, and we are being blocked from our truest self, blocked from questioning the status quo, blocked from understanding who we truly are, and blocked from our own intuition, our guides, our helpers, our spiritual self. Because when we are connected to our intuition, when we are connected to our psychic gifts, like, we are unstoppable, because we can feel and know what's true for us and what's not. So you cannot be misled. You cannot be in fear or control, which is what modern day society has been built on. It has been built on the fact that we as a human race have been kept in submission, because we're so disconnected to our own intuition, we're so disconnected to our soul and our spiritual self, that we are believing and trusting everything that we are fed. That we are fed through mainstream media, through society, through what someone tells us, through schools, through churches, whatever that is. And actually, we're going through this huge wave of awakening in the planet, where we're kind of going, hold on, that doesn't feel right, that doesn't seem right. Like, something is just repelling me from what this person is saying or what I'm being told on the media. And all of this narrative is just to keep us controlled, is to keep us in fear, is to keep our vibration low. Because when we can connect with our higher self, when we can connect with source, we have all the answers that are coming from the most truest places of love, not from fear, not what we're being told, not what we need validated from anyone else. And therefore, that's the only place that we can become a leader. We can become self-led when we are tuned into ourself, when we have healed those parts of ourself that made us believe that we were something else, and that's not actually our true authentic self. So this is a preface to, if you are using Bluetooth headphones, if you are extremely sensitive to energy, if you do feel like you have like a headache or like a heavy head recently, then I'm being told that we are being fed disruptive frequencies that are impacting us and creating like these levels of implants that are blocking our psychic abilities, that are blocking our ability to tune in with our own self and the clarity that we can have to basically sniff out the bullshit. And the fact that it's like these things are going in our ears straight to our brain is where it's like they're making the most impact, because it is impacting our head, our brain, our thymus, our amygdala, our pituitary gland. It's impacting all of these places, and of course our third eye. Our third eye and our crown are where we can like see clearly. It's our clairvoyance. It's our clear seeing, and our crown is our direct connection to source consciousness is from the crown. So if they can impact this in any way with like trackers or blockers, is how I see it. It's like when I tuned into the energy of it, it was like there's been a tracker put in your brain energetically, and there's also an ID, like a came up as like a UED, but I think that's something else, like an ID UED implant. So I had to clear all of those out, of course, because it was really impacting my ability to feel and see clearly like I usually do. So if you are on your spiritual path, if you're feeling this, then just be mindful if you are still using Bluetooth headphones, because as I said, it is a bit of a frequency war, it's a bit of a spiritual war, and they are using technology to impact and influence us in a way that is stopping us from stepping into the truth and our truest version of ourselves. So I hope that was enough conspiracy theory shit for you guys. If you want to know more, then you can find out all the ways to work with me. If you feel like you have been impacted by something outside of yourself that is keeping your frequency low, that is impacting your ability to see, feel, hear, that is impacting your ability to move forward, get clarity, and is blocking you in some way in your life, then you can book in a session with me, or this is the ways that you can work with me down in the description, and we can understand where those come from and clear those out, because this is a big part of the work that I do with people. It's understanding where those blocks are and where they come from, because yes, they can be brought through from past lives, childhood, ancestral, but they can also be foreignly inserted into our energetic field completely unconsciously when we do not know. And this is the gift that I have, to be able to see and feel where those come from and then be able to clear those out at an energetic level. So if you feel that there's anything that is impacting you from reaching your truest potential, then you can work with me. And otherwise, I hope this has been informative to know that although technology is a beautiful thing of, for example, why I can get this message out to you, it is also being used and hijacked for suppressing your energy. So I hope that resonates with you guys. If you have any questions or you have any comments, then drop them below, and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.